Welcome to 7734, a Danganronpa Creepypasta. On July 28th, my friend invited me to her uncle's yard sale. I wasn't that into his yard sales, but I heard that her uncle was going to sell old artifacts he kept for a long time since my mom's birthday was coming up. I agreed to go. When I go there, I soon realized that her uncle was selling the really old artifacts, like the ship in the bottle or one of those bursts that look as if they were from the Victorian years. I was about to buy just a little statue of a young lady and leave, but then out of the corner of my eye, I saw a Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc CD game. I was already a huge fan of Danganronpa series, so it seemed only right then when I saw it. I immediately brought the game out of excitement. I found it a little strange when Karen's uncle said never seen it or nor remembered having it, but he also mentioned he has a horrible memory, so he didn't think of it much and sold me the game. When I got home, I wanted to play the game straight away, but then my mom caught me and made me do some chores before anything else. I wanted to refuse, but the last time I did that, it didn't really end well, which technically meant that I had no choice. I left the game on my bed and went to do what I had to do. I never got around to my game until 10 o'clock at night when my parents decided to go out for some quality time by themselves. I didn't argue with them because as soon as they left, I finally turned on the living room table and put the CD into the Xbox. I thought for sure I was ready for anything, but I didn't know that the minute I put that CD in, the fate of my insanity was already sealed. When it first came on, the menu screen came on as usual, and I was as hype as ever. The first few seconds of the game was normal, but when I went to the difficulty setting, there was a sports setting that said 7734. While having it font colored red, I thought it was this little strange about how the difficult level was put in, but then I reasoned myself. I thought it was some sort of Easter egg that the creators did as a Halloween level and just selected it. Suddenly everything just went black and there was no sound, no animation, not even the intro of the game was in it. This only lasted for 5 minutes, still it scared me with loud static. The game almost gave me a freaking heart attack. Then the screen finally showed me something. It showed me the gym background, just like from the first game, but the only difference is that there's no one around and the gym was covered in purple blots. It's creeped me out because for Danganronpa fans like me, purple liquids would mean that is someone's blood. But I must have been really stubborn girl because I know as it was a save game, I was able to move the controls like the original game. I was in first person mode, which to be honest, it really wasn't that bad as if I didn't leave the gym room. When I left the gym, I could see nothing but the halls covered in not only the rest of the blood, but I also saw organs and innards everywhere. I'm not even kidding. There were human hearts, livers, guts, just about everything you see in a human body was now all over the floors and walls. I tried telling myself that it is only the game, but I just couldn't help but think it was like someone took a picture of someone else's insides and Photoshop it into the game. I continued to walk through the halls to find any characters, but as soon as I turned left, there was a left door, which is exactly the same one that leads Miyagi to the class trial. I soon went through it, and I was right. The game started me again with a loud, deep scream that lasted for a split second. He screamed until the screen showed me an empty class trial room. The class trial looked exactly the same like the first trial, except the only difference is that no one was there. No Monokuma, no Agi, no one was there but me. Just me. Just as I thought it was useless to even be there, a text in red came up that said, "You shouldn't be here." Coming to my surprise, right in front of my screen was none other than Celestia Ludenberg. Celestia had always been my favorite character out of the others because of how cool I thought of her. But this Celestia looked different. It was not in a good way. So it was all black and nothing but was drawn with white outlines except for her mouth. Her mouth was never shown as if she didn't have one in the first place. Her eyes were bloodshot red with nothing but black pupils and what looks like her crying blood. So let's continue to say, "I mean it. You really shouldn't be here. He'll find you soon enough." So there was two options on the screen that both said "who" on it. Obviously, I had no choice, so I just chose neither one of them. Once again, the screen went black, and for a split second, there was a picture of, if I remember correctly, Celestia with a claw sticking out of her stomach, and her eyes turning black while the sound of static was heard along with it. The screen then showed me the halls again, but this time I felt like I was about to vomit in terror. It was now full of red blood instead of organs. I see dead bodies all over the place. What's worse about that is the dead body of all the characters from the first, second, and third game, and each body has had neither their stomachs cut out, heads torn off, part of their front neck bitten off, or all at once. Even Hajitoa was there. I know he was a bastard, but even I think a jerk like him doesn't deserve a death like that. There was also 2 bodies I noticed out of all of them. Mondo and Ashimaru. Their bodies were sitting next to each other like lovers. Not only did it break my heart so much, but I didn't even notice that I was crying since it looked so real. My thoughts were then broken when suddenly there was a loud bang that came from the hall. There was a door at the end of the hall. Even though I felt broken, curiosity took the better of me, so I slowly walked down the door until I finally went face to face with it. After what seemed like a whole 5 minutes, I finally opened the door and someone led me to a film room that I recognized. Janko's control room. In front of the broken computers was a spinning chair. There were 2 human legs with high-heeled black and red boots on it sticking out. I knew those were Janko's legs straight away, so I pressed the button on my Xbox controller to turn the chair around. What happened next horrified me. On that chair was Janko's corpse, with her ripped stomach and the missing head, while her neck was covered with maggots trying to get out. It looks so lifelike, and I practically screamed from the insanity of it. Then the screen went black again for a minute until it faded back to the classroom. But this time, there was someone on Monokuma's chair. The person was seen holding some sort of familiar head. I wanted to move closer, but all of a sudden, my control wasn't working. I couldn't move at all after that. The person got out from his chair and suddenly teleported right in front of my screen. I could finally tell who it was now. It was Leon Kuwata. Leon has his eyes closed, but what caught me was that his hair and goatee was darkened while his skin was white. Very white. It stayed like that for a couple of minutes till a text under him said, "My so-called friends left me to die. It seemed only right then I paid them back for that. Don't you think so, May Smith?" I literally turned paralyzed in fear. How the hell did it even know my name? I didn't even type in my own name or anything. Then 2 options came up. Yes, no. It was obvious what option I was going to choose. No. After I selected no, another text came up that said, "Hey, you just selected that because you think you're normal?" The other came out with the same answers. This time I selected yes. There was nothing but silence after that until I heard static and was getting louder. After 2 seconds, I realized that this last static came from Leon. He was laughing. Leon finally opened his eyes, which were soulless black eyes with nothing but red dots at the center, and he looked like he laughed so hard that blood actually came down from his head and split into 2 parts into different ways. While his creepy ass smile was pretty white, it only added to the creepiness. It didn't help that the first thing I wanted to do was scream for help, because I knew the only person in this house with me is my baby brother Dylan, but he wasn't going to do much as a baby. Was he? Then a text appeared saying, "I hate to break it to you, May, but..." He started laughing statics again like a maniac on steroids. I swear to God, then the last text came onto the screen and was said in capital letters, "Your saying was gone long ago," before both the TV and the Xbox suddenly shut off. I almost fainted because after that, I remember nothing, and I woke up in my room. I tried to tell my parents what happened, but they thought I only had a nightmare. I tried to play the game to prove it to them, but it was suddenly gone. It was like it never happened in the first place. I never saw the game again, nor did I think about it much. But I do know one thing, and it is that he was right. My insanity left me long ago. So that was welcome to 7734, a Danganronpa Creepypasta. And my thoughts is, that was kind of pretty effed up right there. Well, the only flaw I know is the Danganronpa games aren't on the Xbox, which, same thing that it wasn't on the frickin' Nintendo systems, which, come on, why no love on Danganronpa on the Nintendo systems when you have frickin' Persona and Crash and Spiral and even Rayman get some love on Nintendo systems, but not Danganronpa? Well, it makes sense because Spike Chunsoft is more into the Sony stuff, which, it also has a PC release, which I think that was fine for now. But hey, it was a pretty effed up creepypasta, but I read a good one, so I just hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm still in an idea block again until until Saturday. I got like 3 videos left until the final episode of Me Ventures comes out, so be prepared for that. But always, have a great day, guys. And don't get spooked, because this is pretty much something spooky until there's going to be more creepypastas around Halloween. Good luck for that.